What's going on, guys? Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm back with Doug after his long absence for the holidays.
It's because I hate all of you.
Yeah, but he's back, and today we are doing a comparison video between the Ninja SL2 tank and the more recent drop from Infamous, the Skeleton Air 80-4500.
If you guys like this comparison, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you after the intro. Me and Keegan aren't going to agree a whole lot on this one. I've been around the game for quite a bit. I have always been a Ninja fan ever since I had the money to get one, because I still have an original Ninja 77 from way before the SL conversation was ever coming into play. So I personally have used Ninja the entire time that I've been playing. I am impressed with Infamous and how they came out this year. I do think the product is nice. Obviously, there's a lot out there about the regulators, but I'm going to let Keegan speak to that a little bit more. He is personally a fan of the Infamous brand.
I am. So on the Infamous tanks, most of the time you're going to see them paired with the Powerhouse Haymakr 500 Reg. It is Infamous branded. As you can see across the top of it, you have the Powerhouse logo engraved as well as the Infamous logo engraved. But it really just comes down to it being a Haymakr 500 from Powerhouse, just with Infamous branding. The Powerhouse Reg has been kind of the new thing. I wouldn't even really say new. It's been out for a little bit of time now.
When did was it out in 19 or was it out in early 2020?
I believe it was out in 19 was when they dropped it, but it's definitely much different than the Pro V2.
And you can see that. I mean, it's much wider.
It looks a lot different. It's made different. They're made in the US for people that want to stay not buying stuff from China. One of the biggest things that you'll notice on the Haymakr 500 is it has these low profile burst discs, which is a huge selling factor for the Haymakr 500. They're not going to dig into your wrists like the Pro V2 does that you see on the Ninja tanks. The burst discs on the Pro V2 do poke out a little bit more. Most people don't have an issue with them.
However, that's never been digging into my wrist.
However, having the low profile ones is really nice, and it just adds an extra touch of why you would go with the Powerhouse Haymakr 500 over the Ninja series regulators. They're all feature the same things.
I could agree that that is more of a premium feature. So really, it's just been a while since Ninja has updated things like this. Like the Powerhouse Reg, it's more creative thinking. Someone tried to bring these reg a little bit further into the 21st century. So I can appreciate that. But as far as performance of the regs and the pressures they can both reach, we were discussing before, Ninja will go from what, 450 to 800, right?
400 to 800.
400 to 800.
Yep. You have 4 shims in there, so if you want 400 output pressure, you take all the shims out. If you want 800, put all 4 in. Versus the Haymakr, you're looking at 400 to 850 output pressure, and it actually features kind of a different design than the Pro V2 does. Rather than having shims that you have to take the entire reg apart and remove, you actually have a tool that you go in, and it has kind of a screw spring system that you would take your tool. You can take pliers and stuff like that too. It can be a little bit risky, but the tool is the best way to do it, and you just kind of twist it either way, tighten it or loosen it up for how much pressure you actually want being output. So
interesting.
Kind of a different way of doing things.
What's the highest output pressure that the Haymakr can reach, though?
850.
850?
Yes, 850 is the highest output pressure on the Haymakr versus the Pro V2, which you're looking at 800. But you can get, we actually have on this one, the super high output pressure version, which is, I believe it's at 1,000 PSI output pressure. I know
obviously for a lot of the speedball guns, it's preferred to have low pressure. It's just easier on your solenoid.
Mark.
Yeah, it's just easier on your solenoid. One of the reasons that you would want the higher output pressure setup is if you have older cocker or Titman.
All right, guys. So from there, sizes right here with the Skeleton Air, you're looking at an 80-4500. So 80 cubic inches, 4,500 PSI in this tank. You're looking at the same PSI, so 4,500 on the Ninja, but it's going to be a 77. So 3 cubic inch difference between the tanks. Not a whole lot to actually make it
I wouldn't say that's make or break.
Yeah, not at all. If that's your make or break, then
That's
I don't
on
know
you.
what to tell you.
That's on you.
But coming down to probably one of the biggest selling features for the actual tank itself is the fact that the skeleton air tanks, what Infamous has done with them is create all sorts of designs. They have this design here, as well as they have, I believe, 3 other designs for their 80s, and they have different designs for their 68s. So they have tons of different color options. I mean, right here you have the gold and black, you have black and gold, you have their new diamond series that look phenomenal. So you just have all these different options that you can go with, versus the Ninja tanks. Most of the time you're going to see a black bottle with a little bit of writing like the lime that is on there.
Now I will say they do have the lime green tank. There's a red one, blue one. Like we have seen those kind of standard colors. I've seen a white one out there as well with some of that red text on it, or they did a special St. Patty's Day version.
Yeah.
But it definitely took them longer to start to add in all that variety, and I still would agree with Keegan that the Infamous tanks are more visually appealing. There's a lot more going on. And even that, like, this is the simpler of the two, I would say, because the 68 tanks are way more involved with the artwork. This isn't overkill.
Yeah, this is this was their first tank that they actually put out, the first design at least, and it's more simple. You're not having as much going on, but they do have some that are really intricate and have like an actual skull that is put into the tank, and it looks amazing. It's probably my favorite tank on the market, especially because of the design.
That being said, I prefer simplicity, so for me, Ninja's great for that, but I mean, in all reality, again, these are preference things. You can't really go wrong with either one, but there are definitely features for the preference, whatever you're going to be looking for. Now, since they're close enough in how much they hold, be 80 and 77, weight, I think, is going to be a big one.
Yeah, so let's weigh these bad boys.
I'll step on out.
It's going to be a little bit difficult because they like to move.
They do. They like to roll, so we're going to do our best here to keep them stable. Got the Infamous.
You got to find that balance point.
265.
So 2
pounds,
6.5 ounces versus the Ninja tank.
We are zeroed. Go on ahead.
Gotta stop it from rolling.
3.8.
3.0. So about 3 ounce difference. Once again, if you're splitting hairs and you actually want to get the lightest, you're probably going to want to go with a 68 anyway, with maybe an extender. But I mean, the weight isn't enough to really choose one or the other. It's kind of like the 3 cubic inch difference, where it shouldn't really matter that much.
Right. There's so many things that'll go into affecting your efficiency that day. Like, did you lube your gun? Because you're going to have to work harder to shoot. What's the temperature? So again, splitting hairs, so much of this comes down to probably the quality of the regulator, which that is newer. It's newer engineering. There's new ideas in there. It's simpler with that tool, as you said, to adjust your output pressure. And we've heard, I think, pretty good reports, right, that it is very consistent.
Yeah, very consistent. Most people say that you're going to be seeing around a 3 FPS difference in your shots versus the Ninja.
You can jump
people
plus
say
or minus
around
10. So.
Yeah, so kind of a big difference there. Maybe we should probably get a video of that whenever we get the chance to kind of test that and go deep into that. So keep an eye out for that video.
But yeah, beyond that, and just as far as reliability, I haven't really heard much about the Haymakers, like, blowing a burst disc on anyone.
The Haymakr is the only reg that I have not seen a burst disc go bad on.
Being that Keegan techs a lot of this stuff in the shop too, he's a pretty good reference for that. What he sees.
Do it a lot with Ninja regs. Do it a lot with just the standard kind of regs that you see on Empire Basics tanks and stuff like that. But I've never done one on a Powerhouse reg.
Over the years, we'll have to keep track of how much they come in for servicing, so we can actually get a comparison.
Definitely.
Last but not least, how much are these bad boys going to cost you?
Yeah, probably the biggest factor going into buying these tanks. Unfortunately, with the Infamous bottle, you're going to be looking at $170, which is the same price point for the Ninja 77 tank. Bottles alone are the same. That's actually one thing that I wanted to mention, was the fact that you don't have to get these regs on these bottles. Is on PunishersPB.com. You can actually buy bottle only, and recently we just started doing bottle only Ninja tanks. So if you want a Ninja tank with a Powerhouse reg, you can do it at Punisher's PB now. But onto the price point of the regs. Pro V2, what are you looking at, Doug?
So Pro V2 total cost, Reg is coming in at $70. So total cost will set you back $240 for a Ninja SL2 with Pro V2 Reg versus you're going to be looking at
coming in at $120 for the Powerhouse Haymakr 500. Unfortunately, it is $50 more. However, it is made solely in the U.S., which is a huge plus to a lot of people out there, as well as with how reliable and consistent they have been said to be. To me, that $50 is personally worth it. To other people who might just want to go for something more simple and not spend top of the line money, because it is the most expensive tank on the market, you might want to go with the Pro V2 Reg, which has been tested and what's that one saying where it's like something and true?
tried and true.
Tried and true, that's the one.
That's the thing, it is tried and true. While Keegan did mention that he has seen a few of these come in for servicing and stuff like that, they've also been out a lot longer. So I would imagine over time you'll see plenty of Haymakers coming in as well. I personally have never had an issue with a Ninja Reg myself. And the tanks that I see like blowing out at the field is usually like Empire. It's for me, I don't usually see a Ninja tank go. I don't doubt that Keegan has them come into the store.
I have definitely seen a lot.
It's usually Ninja and First Strike that I see blowing Regs.
First Strike, big one. Go with the Powerhouse, or at least go with the Ninja Standard Reg, which is another option that you can go with. There's the Ninja Standard Reg. You're looking at $45. You just can't adjust where the fill nipple and the gauge lie.
Yep.
So that's another option that you can get on either of these tanks.
All right, well, Keegan, I think we have kind of come to the conclusion that both of these will get the job done.
Yeah.
It's a matter of if you want to pay for U.S. construction, possibly higher quality, and of course some new and updated features versus what is tried and true, what does work for plenty of people. So is that $50 going to make or break the difference for you? That's up to you. You let us know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Punisher's Paintball here on YouTube, and we'll catch you next time.